Who do you guys think? Do y'all have any thoughts on who you would?
I'm really hot. Hey y'all. What's up? What's up, people? Shit. Okay. Hey, Miss Fendi. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. How are y'all doing this cold morning? Well, maybe it's not cold where you're at. How's it going? Fix my clothes. Listen, I had to turn my jacket inside out because I didn't want people to see my logo, my job, my title, and hold on, let me put my phone up. Hey, Lindsay. Okay, hold on. How are y'all doing? It's cold. Yeah, I could imagine Seattle. Yeah, Seattle is one of those places that I'd rather visit in the summer. Um, Mernting. You know what? People are a trip. I oh God, hold on. Let me jump over. People are a trip. So I listened to this mindless rant of this little insectoid-like creature that wants to keep talking about the gentleman's panel. I don't even have to say this dude's name. I don't even have to say this dude's name. But y'all know who I'm talking about because I don't have to do a video to get clicks and views by saying who he is because he's not relevant to me. But the thing is, I guess he came off his drug-induced high and he was crashing, so he wanted to come for us gentlemen on the panel. Girl, listen, I'm ugly. Okay, I could be ugly. Maybe you do consider me ugly. Slow and delayed is what you said. Now, you and I can read the same book. It'll probably take you 2 weeks or a month to read. It would take me probably 2 days. I don't know where you're getting this narrative that Rebel is anywhere near slow. It's funny to me because sometimes I have to slow myself down to really communicate with people because I think so much. I have to go inward. Um, but you're a hater, little girl, little man child. You're a hater. It's apparent. You're one of those queens that's jealous of anyone that's getting attention. I could be ugly. You may consider me ugly again, but there are a lot of men that consider me their cup of tea. I don't think I'm better than anyone, but nor do I think anyone is better than me. You're a nurse, you make six figures, but that's the first time I heard of an LPN or LVN making six figures. You must work a hell of a lot of overtime or have like a second job as an LPN, because the titles are interchangeable. They basically are the same thing. And I don't knock anyone for their hustle, but your insecurities are yelling out to everyone. You're very insecure. Everyone on the panel that I'm on have we got you beat, honey. We got you beat. You can't hang. You're not even in the same league as I am in. I don't get in the mud and roll with pigs because the pigs like rolling in the mud and I don't. The funniest thing to me is also Rick Reed has come after you numerous times, yet you act as if you don't see it. Now I can roll in the mud with you. I can drag you about your drug usage, about how you have the face of an 80-year-old man. Um, that ass of a chicken. But why would I have to do that? You're a read all in itself. I know. Right. But who gets on, who brags? You make six figures. You make six figures. You keep saying six figures, six figures. You want it to sink in that you make six figures. Who lead? I don't lead with my material possessions don't define who I am. What makes you're loud? You're just women are B's and H's, and I don't understand women that support you because you don't like women at all. You have no respect for women. But okay, fix my clothes. But the craziest thing is you you go after other gay men, and I never understood that type of a gay man. I don't go after women. Do I make parodies about Tracy and Heidi? Yes. Tracy and Heidi go after everyone. I respect women. You don't hear me calling women B's or H's or any of those derogatory names. And the weirdest thing is, you and I are nothing alike. We're nothing alike. Honey, you're not even fit to shine my fucking shoes. Just stay in your lane. Continually pay for dick. Buy boys iPhones because you're a boss and a bully, but you have to pay for dick. Or ass. I don't know what you're paying for because you say you're a top. I don't know who the hell will let you climb on top of them. OT, but Joy, let me say this. RNs do make money. I have a bunch of friends that are RNs. But he's not an RN. He's an LPN. LPN is the next step after a nursing assistant. I have friends that are nursing assistants. I have friends that are LVNs here in Texas. But they don't make the same amount of money as an RN. They probably make a little over half the amount that an RN would make. Definitely more than a CNA, but not in the same category as an RN. Okay, Joy. Yeah, so, hey, Elaine Sutherland. But I just didn't understand the mindless rant. We don't even pay this boy attention. What are we saying? We don't even acknowledge you. It's like if anyone can see and listen to you, they know it's all fueled by jealousy. And I understand. I can understand why you're jealous. Hey, Sherry. But it's crazy to me because you publicly been called out by Rick Reed, telling you to come up to him. You're everything. He calls you everything you've called others, but you're mute. I guess you see someone that you look at as probably being even lower than you are, so you're afraid of him. But none of us, especially not me, is afraid of you. You're not. It's like arguing with a 3-year-old. You're not on the same level, honey. Get over it. Now, in fact, I keep thinking about you having the nerve to call me ugly. I guess you don't have any mirrors in your house, or whoever you're living with, whatever person you're laying up with, whatever shack or halfway house or drug rehabilitation center you're living in, I don't know. But, bitch, you need to look in the mirror because you don't have pretty eyes. You don't have pretty skin. Your body, you've gained weight. So I think you've probably gotten off whatever drugs you were taking. You probably went to rehab when you were off the YouTube for a while. I give you that. You gained a little weight. but your face is still that of an elderly man. Hmm. So I suggest, you just stay in your lane. Thank you, Joy. But you know what? I may not be attracted to everyone. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and I accept that. Everyone's not attracted to the same thing. But to use that to say a person, okay, was it a wreck up here? Seriously. Okay, it was a wreck. Hold on. This person's car fell dead. Really? Somebody's car, they ran out of gas. So now we're in traffic. Hold on, y'all. This heater is cooking me like I'm in an oven. But why hate on someone? The only thing you could say is I'm ugly, I'm slow, I'm delayed. But I'm looking at this guy like, wow, you're really calling someone slow. You're calling someone slow? Really? And I think that's what it is. He thrives off of hate, and people like him for that extra that he gives, which is, the just the mindless rants. It's like watching a train wreck. Hey, this beach is better. Like, roll with people because you're a positive person. I'm sorry. This person's roll with people because you're a positive person. Why are you trying to make people like you? Why are you trying to make people? I'm sorry, y'all. These people are. Don't run into me, lady. With man. Okay, you hit me with your Porsche if you want to. I'll be turning this in and getting me something brand new. But it's crazy how some people thrive on that negativity. It's like he's a male version of Heidi. He's a female version of Tracy. Um, just his whole persona, it screams just trash. He's trash. That's the only way I can sum it up. He's calling El Teddy a substitute teacher. Now that boy, El Teddy has gotten his master's. I think he has his master's. Thank you. You know what? Listen, I've had my insecurities when I was younger, but I came to the reality of you are who you are. You are an individual. You are specifically made to be the way you are. So therefore, I can't compare myself because I've been told before that, I was not light enough, or I wasn't built enough, or it was just little crazy things like that. And this is when I was maybe a teenager or a young adult. But I've also had people that loved me unconditionally, and I've been in relationships that were very positive, loving relationships. And for this boy also to put the narrative out that Jay Wilson may have, a disease, that's crazy to me. Why would you start? Why would you say something like that? That's just, you're a self-hating, you're like Mystery Van. Mystery Van is a self-hating black person, and this other person is a self-hating gay person because you don't like other gays, you don't hang around the F word, but you are a stereotype of what the gay men talk about. You're a stereotype. You're real nasty. You're very you sleep with everyone. You brag about taking girls' boyfriends, which I don't believe that because again, you pay for dick. It's crazy. And the jealousy is just, you couldn't say that you liked the gentleman's panel and you supported it. You had to bash it because what? You're trying to make yourself irrelevant? You came for everybody on the panel, almost except James Caldwell, but you call him Pops. So you're not bringing him into it. But everyone else, you have something to say about us. It's like we don't, who even mentions you? Okay, Jay Wilson probably mentions you. He acknowledges you for the clicks and the views. The rest of us don't. Well, the QB may mention you in a news segment, a Messy Monday or one of those Fridays. But for the most part, El Teddy and I generally don't mention you. You know what? You're irrelevant. You just don't have anything to bring to the table. So why even bring you up? It's crazy. And okay, I'm letting you over, sir. But you know what? I've never been a jealous person. And you know what? I've had gay men my whole life, other gay men that have been jealous. Because gay men are like some women are to each other. You know how a woman may not like you just because of some crazy reason. There are gay men that are like that just don't. Those gay men that want to be the only gay men that hang with a group of women, and they don't like another gay man coming along to hang with the women. They want to be the loudest, get attention, be like, hey girl, bitch, hey bitch, one of those types. And that's who they are. Okay, it's not me, but if that's who you are, be positive with it. Don't use any talent that you could have to just be on a train of negativity. Jealousy is tacky. Why be jealous? It's enough room. All of us could be at the top. There's enough room for everyone to be great. Give a person their props. I don't get it. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to drive. But you know what? And I want people, you come over here, we laugh. I do those parodies. I talk about my life experiences. But I'm not jumping like what I was saying the other day. Like Jay Wilson and Brother Tim don't get along, don't like each other. For the most part, that's coming from Tim. If Tim said he wanted to be cool with Jay Wilson would embrace him wholeheartedly. But Tim has it, he doesn't have it for Jay Wilson, and I respect that. But I'm not going after Tim because of him and Jay Wilson not getting along. What this man, thank you, this man is talking about, us on the gentleman's panel. What about your life? Why can't you share aspects of your life except getting your brains knocked out, or getting your guts dug out, or being drunk on cam? I mean, what? Who are you? I mean, What about your growing up? Talk about who you are. It's like I'm bragging about driving a Lexus, and every time I'm saying I got a Lexus, I got a Lexus, I got a Lexus. I've driven an Audi, I've had a BMW, I've had a Kia, I've had a Honda Civic. Let me say I've called the bus before, but those things didn't make me be who I am. I've traveled out of the country, and I've lived in poverty as a child. So I've never looked at anyone as being less than myself. But just to go on pointless attacks on people, I don't get that. I don't understand it. And he gets on, and Rebel and El Teddy, you're nothing but what do you say, substitute teacher. You're a substitute teacher, but you're a nurse. If you're an RN, because you never say what type, you quick to say nurse. But my thing is this: with you being a nurse, you have a lot of time on your hands. I know a lot of my friends that are nurses that don't have that time. I work in clinical research. Let me say that. That's all I will say. And people, don't be afraid, because there are a lot of clinical research places here in Houston. But I get by. I have a very comfortable living. I can travel and do things. And it hasn't always been like that. I'm working on a book. As we speak, I'm still working on my book. I've had a writer's block as of late. But, when I have quiet time, I start writing again. Hey, Nisi, the budgetisa. But it's made me become a very, my background and upbringing made me become a very level-headed person. I look at myself as a survivor. Me and my siblings, and I don't know, I did an earlier video about this. My siblings and I have been in a house that burned down. The house literally was on fire, and we had to be rescued out of the house. I've been in a house that flooded. We had to have the firefighters come when we had the huge floods here in Houston. And I have videos of that. But it's made me become a person that knew how to make do when I didn't have. And it made me very humble. So I never look down, and I keep saying that, but that's just my motto. You don't look down upon people, because you don't know where they've been, what led them to be in the place that they're at. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, thumbs up. And I did work for it. Hey, pretty Ricky Fontaine. But I think that I'm sorry, but I had to look to see if my car was dirty in the back seat. No, Elaine, what was your email about? I mean, don't say what it was about, but I'll look when I get to work. I get to my desk. I usually check my email when I get to my desk. But I don't think that it's like it's such a I think that people get on YouTube and they become emboldened and they feel that they just act how they want to act in everyday life. They feel they can get away with it when they're sitting behind a monitor. This too much. Hey, what's up? Was your email about the wine, Elaine? Was it about the wine? If anyone knows some good Moscatos, hit my email because I may have a little gathering at my house. Um, and y'all, again, I meant to do the skit last night, but when I got in that bed and I ate, I fell out into a diabetic coma. So I'm doing the skit today. You will definitely get the skit today. I promise I will do the skit today. I had to go and get my face cleaned up at my barber. So I was like, okay, I drove to her shop, and when I got home and after I marinated in some warm water with some added flavorings, I went to sleep. Like I just cooked like a little but and you know what, we have to learn. And I really, when Five Babe did the video, the interview with the girl Portia Honey that had been abused, I had to look at it from a different angle because we can't expect people to be like we are. And I'm a man, she's a woman. It's easy for me to say I wouldn't put up with abuse because, you know, I just know how my persona is. I grew up with people being abused. There were woman beaters in my family. I have uncles that were woman beaters. My grandfather, I love my grandfather, but my grandfather treated my grandmother bad when she was with him. And she had 9 children, and eventually she left him. But my grandfather he would sleep with anything that would squat to pee. He slept with it. And my grandmother was a good woman, but he beat her spirit down. So I've been around people that were abusers. So I know that, and that was in the early days, you know, probably in the 60s. He was doing this in the 50s and 60s, but he was a Rolling Stone. But my grandmother, she was raised to, you know, to make your marriage work and, you know, be a good wife. And she cooked and cleaned, and both of my grandparents were cab drivers. They both drove cabs. And my grandfather was out there making babies, and he would come home pissed off because one of his hoes in the street made him mad, so he'd come home and beat on my grandmother. But so this girl Honey, this woman, I sympathize with her because we don't know what state of mind this woman was in, and we don't know how he beat her down mentally as well as physically. You know, he tried to kill her, so you can imagine what mental abuse that this man would put up on her. Hey, Miss M. Stephan. My grandfather was always a loving grandfather to me and my cousins. We didn't see the abuse, but we heard the stories of it. So we don't see this man like how my other family members see him, because we see him as an older man. We don't see him as the hellraiser that he was. You know, so I may be like, that's Pops, because I call him Pops. Pops with, he was a great grandfather to me. Taught me comic books. He's the one that made me realize, that I wanted to be an artist, and I was drawing, and I learned, you know, um, he never spanked me. He was always a loving grandpa, but he wasn't a good husband. You was on Maury. Did I tell you? You remember? I was on Ricky Lake. I was on Ricky Lake in 1997. The show was called Confronting an Ex. I was on the show with my friend Thurman. Uh, but it's funny. Yeah, we have that similarity. That's weird. But you know what? Raise little girls to be complete without having a man. A person, love yourself enough to walk away, and anyone can be in an abusive relationship, and I had nothing but sympathy, and I'm glad that this woman survived to tell her story. I'm getting out of here because I need to go catch this shuttle. Y'all, thank y'all for coming out. My mods, thanks for representing and coming in, holding it down. My vlog sister, everyone else, peace.